Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome everyone. This is the Attractions Marketing Funding Workshop. I am Nancy McPhee, and I am with the Lee County Visitor and Convention Bureau. I apologize for the late start. I see just about everyone is here. I wanted to just remind you that this is different. We normally have an in-person meeting. Attendance is already better than normal by doing it as a webinar. So you'll need to remember that if you would like to ask a question or tell me to slow down, just raise your hand or type a question into the box where the questions line is. So the cycle for applying for fiscal year 2019 funding will open tomorrow. The Visitor and Convention Bureau is administering this program along with the Southwest Florida Community Foundation. We're appreciative to them. It is because they administer it that you don't have to wait for reimbursement of the funding. Unfortunately, the program manager, who is my co-pilot from their team, is unable to join us today. She's ill, so she will be emailing you, if she has not already, a packet of information on how to create your own account on the Southwest Florida Community Foundation's portal. It is different. They have a new system this year, so you will need a new login to do that this year. So watch for that email. And the deadline to apply for next year's funding is June 22nd. So again, you'll be able to go in, create an account, start your application, take a break, go back and save it in draft form, and then click submit when you're ready, or no later than June 22nd. So we'll just go ahead and get started. The goal of the Attractions Marketing Program is to provide marketing guidance and financial assistance to nonprofit attractions. And most all of you are that, and you do many things, we know. But a couple of the key things you need to do to receive this funding is enhance the year-round tourism opportunities in Lee County, offer experiences that may extend the stay of our visitors that are here for a variety of reasons. And of course, highlight the unique art and cultural offerings of the destination. So many of you have seen this slide before. If you're new to the program, where does the funding come from? The VCB manages with tourist development tax, which is 5% on short-term accommodations in Lee County. And the Board of County Commissioners, while there's many things you can do, per state statute, the Board of County Commissioner has chosen 3. The big one, 53.6% of the funding we collect from tourists goes to the advertising and promotion of Lee County as a tourism destination. That includes the management of the Visitor and Convention Bureau, its staff, and the marketing budget. Another thing that we do with the tourist tax is manage beach and shoreline facilities and put sand on beach. And there's almost 50 miles of beach in Lee County. The beaches are, based on our surveys, one of the #1 reasons people come here. Of course, not every day is a beach day, and that's why we need you. And that's why attractions and events marketing exists, to create new opportunities and experiences for visitors to extend their stay and keep coming back. Now, the 20% portion that you see, the majority of which goes to pay the stadium debt on the 2 spring training facilities, that is where the attractions marketing funding comes from. That's the pot that historically it lives in. If you were to read the state statute, sporting facilities and attractions live in the same pot and are funded with the same couple of pennies. So that's where the funding comes from. Tourists need to keep coming in order for these programs to continue. And we have had record-breaking tourist tax collections the past few years, and that is in part thanks to all the hard work that you do as an attractions partner. So thank you. So I'm just pausing every once in a while to make sure that I see no questions. Okay, what have we done, or how much have we allocated over the years? Since fiscal year 2000, $7.3 million has gone to the Arts and Attractions Marketing Program and the Events Marketing Program, so that's pretty significant. The smaller piece of the pie, 2.3, goes to the Events Marketing Program. That's another funding program that we manage. The deadline for that is tomorrow. Basically, that program funds multiple day events in off-peak months of the year. This year, we funded 9 events with $200,000. The bigger piece of the pie is attractions marketing. Almost $5 million has gone to fund arts and attraction marketing initiatives since fiscal year 2000. The current year budget was $350,000, and 42 attractions in Lee County benefited from that pot. And it is because of that, which was a record number of attractions that applied, it is because of that that the VCB is recommending an increase in funding to the program. So we have put in a request to increase the funding for this program to $400,000, which would go to the Community Foundation and the applicants that are going to participate in the upcoming cycle. So granted the TDC and the Board of County Commissioners approves that, we will have an extra $50,000. So I think just about every attraction last year but one got funded, and it was because the request just was not an eligible request through this program. So pretty much everybody that applies gets something. You have to do a lot of things really good to get the max that you apply for. To compare the two programs, just so there's no confusion, the attractions, which is what we're here to talk about today, is you need to have year-round component to your attraction. Maybe not every single month. We have some months that are very slow and it's lights out for some of our attractions, namely September, but you do have to have some type of presence year-round. You are able to spend your marketing dollars locally through the Arts and Attractions program, which is not the same with events marketing. Events marketing must be a multiple day event that occurs off season, and they must spend their money out of market. So it is a little bit more challenging for them, but the whole goal would be to drive room nights in the need period, and out of area marketing can do that. The Arts and Attractions funding program is non-reimbursable, which is a good thing, and is, again, the reason that we partner with the Community Foundation. All the other grant programs that we manage here at the VCB are by reimbursement. So once the allocations are determined and the Board of County Commissioners approves next year's budget, we invite you to a check reception, and by November you usually have your grant allocation to use for the work that you want to do next year. And again, the funding is for fiscal year 18-19, so your marketing placements would apply from October 1st, 2018 through September 30th, 2019. Both programs have a cap. This may not be in the application where you put the amount you're requesting, but just remember that $25,000 is the most that an attraction can receive. It's been some time since any attraction received that full amount. Matches are always encouraged. They help an attraction become fiscally sustainable. You always want to show your investment, whether it be in kind, from your own operating budget, or perhaps from sponsors and community partners that are assisting you in your mission. So while the events marketing fundees have to show 100% marketing match, the attractions is not quite as strict as yet, because the allocations are not usually as large as events marketing. So you should think about items that you can list in the match column on your marketing plan. And finally, both programs require reporting. It's very important for us to measure. We don't ask you to tell us how many room nights you're generating in this program, but we do want to know the effectiveness of your marketing placement. So you normally, when you're placing advertising or sharing printed materials, you normally can measure how many and who they're going to and give us an estimate on the reach of your marketing placement. So that's very important to share with us. All right, one of the benefits of being a partner with the VCB is to ride along with us when we're marketing throughout the country and internationally. Everything the Visitor and Convention Bureau does drives eyes to our website, our consumer website, fortmyers-sanibel.com. So if you don't already have a listing on that website, it would be very important for you to create one now. Just this year, fiscal year to date, since October, 1.2 million eyes have looked at fortmyers-sanibel.com. So you need to be seen. Some of the benefits are opportunities to showcase your business to thousands of potential visitors. Our advertising is usually being seen by people that are researching a visit here. Okay, there's just one question. There's a question about events needing to market out of state or out of this area. So in the events marketing program, the guidelines are posted on our website, leavecb.com, and you can see the guidelines there. You need to advertise out of market, meaning out of Southwest Florida. So 150 miles and beyond is where you need to market. There are many event marketing partners that market out of state, and you can do a lot of things out of area via social marketing. As far as events marketing, again, that grant program, that application cycle does close tomorrow. It's been open since mid-March. The off-season months where the event needs to be placed is anytime after Easter through January, with an exception of the 2 weeks over Christmas and New Year's. So if you're an attraction partner that's going to try to apply for attraction marketing for an event, I'm going to get to that in just a minute, but again, we don't just fund events through the attractions marketing program, which is what we're talking about today. There are a few exceptions. Multiple day events in the peak season, like the Edison Festival of Light, which is like a 10-day event in February, can't be funded through events marketing. So they have in the past applied to receive marketing dollars through this program. However, they also bring us usually national media attention. So I'm going to just keep moving on. Your listing on the website is available to any Lee County business or attraction that provides services related to the tourism industry. And an average number of unique page views on our website is about 785,000. Sorry, there's too many zeros in that number. So while they might not all be looking at your page of the website, that's the number of eyes that our advertising drives to the site. So if you were going to go to fortmyers-sanibel.com and take a peek at the home page, down at the bottom, you can register for an account to have a listing on our website. And we have a team here at the Bureau that's available to assist you if you need it. Here's an example of an attraction that benefits from the attractions marketing program. And although it's hard for me to show you the whole listing, the top parts on the left, you can see the name of the attraction. Most importantly, there's a link to their website. That's what we want to do, is drive eyes to your website. So there's a link back to their website, and then in the left column, there's a gallery of photos. You can even upload a video now on our website. On the right-hand side, you can see the bottom of their listing, which talks about hours of operation, if there's a fee, facility amenities, and events that might be upcoming. So that's an example of what a listing would look like. You can check with the marketing team at the VCB if you have specific questions related to statistics. Where do we advertise? That's a whole nother PowerPoint presentation that we do quite frequently throughout the community. You know, our target markets are the Midwest, the Northeast, and then internationally, Germany and Canada. So this is an example, this slide, to show you that just in the month of March 2018, almost 70,000 partner referrals were provided through our website. Now, the bulk of them are to accommodations partners, of course. That's where the funding comes from for all of our programs. So a lot of what we advertise is lodging partners. But you can see across the top, there's statistics that talk about the number of sessions, how many of those were new users that had never visited our website before, how many page views in the month of March. Bounce rate is important to know. Why are they bouncing? Why aren't they sticking around? Is it not robust enough? Is there not good content? Average session over 2 minutes is a good average duration for a session. And then the number of pages that a consumer might look at while they're on the website. Hopefully, they're jumping off our website and going to yours. That would be our goal, in addition to driving room nights. Again, here's another slide that shows you that 68% of the partner referrals went to accommodation partners, but right behind them in second place is the activity. 21% were looking for things to do. So at the bottom of this slide, I wanted to just show you as an example of a featured listing. So the listings are free, if I didn't mention it already. But you can actually pay to have a featured listing, and that gives you higher visibility. You remain at the top of the page. For instance, if you're a theater type of an attraction on the page with other similar attractions such as yours, you would stay on the top of the page instead of cycling through. So the only thing with featured listings, you can also be a featured event on our website, stay at the top of the page for the month of February, for example. You can't use tourist tax dollars to buy co-op with the Tourist Development Council through the VCB. So you need to know that anybody that is spending dollars on featured listings or featured events or any type of co-op with the Visitor and Convention Bureau, that would come from your own budget or perhaps sponsors that you obtain. And that's a great way to show in the match column what you're absorbing the cost of yourself. So I just wanted to pause and make sure there was no questions as we're moving through. Again, there's lots of discussion that can be had on marketing placements, best place to place your marketing efforts for your attraction, and we're happy to have that discussion with you privately here at the Bureau. So who's eligible? How can you participate in the attractions marketing program? First of all, obviously, you must be a tourism attraction located in Lee County. You must be legally organized as a nonprofit or be a department within a division of municipal government here in Lee County. And the next line, you must have a dedicated administrator. All that means is I need to have someone that's dedicated to managing the grant. Many of the attractions we work with are very small, and we know that, but we're here to help you. And normally, we're working with volunteers. You're designated someone as the grant writer and feeding them the information you need them to have to create a successful grant application. The good thing about the way the Community Foundation and the VCB set up their grant programs is the information will be archived, and you should be able to, if your administrator changes, go back and look at past grant applications in case there's rollover of staff at your organization. And of course, we keep files here at the Bureau, so we're happy to help you if you're new at an organization to show you what perhaps they've applied for in the past. I've also shared examples of good grant applications with new attractions that are seeking funding. The facility or program must be available throughout the year. Again, we're not just funding a one-time initiative or a one-time event. There are recurring events, and this is the next line, signature events that occur in season because they can't be funded through a marketing program, can be considered. They need to draw significant economic impact, usually be multiple days, and nationwide attention. So again, that's the Edison Festival of Light is a good example of that. It's signature event of the destination historically. So it has not last year, or I'm sorry, current year, but it has in the past gone through this program to receive some marketing dollars. Okay. Who has been successful? What have they done? Why are they successful? So those that have been successful, and if you go to leavevcb.com, now I already mentioned one website, fortmyers-sanibel.com. That's the consumer website for visitors coming to the destination. The website you need to become familiar with is leavevcb.com because it's full of resources and opportunities to learn more about what the VCB can do for you, from marketing to getting our logo, which is required on anything you create with TDC funds, to dipping into our asset library, which is where we have all of our photography that you can take advantage of for your own purposes. leavevcb.com is where you need to go. So so the successful partners have listings on that website. They're enhancing the visitor experience and they heighten the awareness of the destination. They're collaborating with lodging partners. This is very important. And those of you that have been getting this funding for a while will remember about 5 years ago, we made it a requirement. You have to partner with a hotel in some way, whether it's just sharing your flyers with them, whether it's getting them on board as the host hotel for an initiative you're doing, a gallery opening or whatever. Hotels are where the funding comes from for the program. We need the funding to return back. We need them to benefit in the end so that we can continue offering the program. Partnering with other attractions is very beneficial as well. So we would encourage that, and there's many workshops and opportunities, including one that's happening tomorrow at Lakes Park, that you can meet other attractions and tourism partners in Lee County. One of the things that's required, and it can affect future grant funding if it's not followed through with, is including the TDC logo on all pieces produced with Tourist Development Council funds. And that could be a hyperlink if you're using the funding that we provide to you for enhancing a website. It would be a hyperlink back to our consumer site. Or if it's a printed piece or video, it would mean just using the logo. And again, if you go to leavevcb.com and go to the attractions page, you can see where the logos are located under program resources. One of the things that many of our partners that are very successful with do is they host VCB staff. We've got a big staff, about 32 people here in Lee County, and some of our staff is at the airport. We have over 100 volunteers that work at the welcome centers at the airport, and we work heavily with journalists and travel writers to promote Lee County for tourism purposes. So when you host us on a tour at your facility or share tickets to perhaps a special show that you're doing, you're educating the staff here, our volunteers and journalists on what you have to offer. And I thank you all who have done that. Many of you I pick on repeatedly. Of late, we've had several people come in from Germany even, and you've gone above and beyond in showing them around your attraction, and we appreciate that. And if you want to be added to our database and added to an itinerary, just reach back out, and if you've not already heard from us for that purpose, we'll be sure that you're included in the future. Another thing that we're doing that makes us a successful attraction partner is measuring and reporting back on the effectiveness of your marketing placements. Yes, there was a question about the presentation. The presentation will be available at the conclusion of the, probably by Wednesday, it will be posted on leavevcb.com. So measuring your marketing placements, sharing with us your goals, and whether you reach them or not is very important for new grant applications. And we'll talk about that in a minute when we get to reporting. Creating and maintaining your listing on fortmyersanibel.com, I already kind of talked about that. All right, this is the event that's happening tomorrow at Lakes Park. And this is an opportunity for you as an attraction partner to participate, meet other attraction partners, and just to be celebrated. It is our annual travel rally at Lakes Park from 4 to 7 p.m. It is free for everyone. You can bring your family. It's very family friendly. Lots of games, free food, and lots of prizes. Many of our tourism partners have donated attraction tickets, hotel stays. The grand prize is 2 round-trip tickets on JetBlue. JetBlue is one of the sponsors of the event. And generally, we do this in the beginning of May to celebrate National Travel and Tourism Week, and it is our thank you to you for delivering again so that we can have another successful year here in Lee County collecting tourist tax. So if you, I'm not sure that everybody here got my email on Friday about it, but if you want to go ahead and just answer that question, I don't know if you can see it, but whether you're coming or not to Travel Rally, the thing you need to remember is there is actually a trade show component, and I believe all of the 110 booth spots have been taken, but it's free of charge. So next year, you really should consider having a booth if you're an attraction that has enough to offer, because it is a way to get in front of not only the public, but other attraction and lodging partners. Remember, that's sort of a requirement of the program. You'll meet lodging partners at this event. So please consider attending. Again, it's free of charge, and we appreciate everyone that helps us put that on. Okay, I am just going to see what's the next step of closing the poll and sharing the results. And hopefully you can see that 58% of you are attending. That's wonderful. So we hope that we can get 100% attendance next year. It really is a lot of fun, and really quite fun to watch the tourism partners in their races. Okay, guidelines. The guideline packet is posted at vvcb.com under the attraction navigation tab of that website, but I'm just going to go through it quickly. Some of the guidelines you need to be aware of. There are lots of things that you can do with marketing dollars. We have a list of things that can be funded through this program. So if it's not eligible through this program, I would encourage you to go ahead and do it if you think it's important to your attraction, but list it as a match so that we can see the investments you're making. Let me just pause for a minute, make sure that I have another question. Okay, I think that all. Partners are going to be required to submit a detailed final report. I believe that there was just a call for final reports today for the current year. So May 30th is the deadline to get your grant report in for what you did with current year funding. Now, if you're not done spending and marketing, that's okay. Just give an update of what your plan is. And I believe all funds are supposed to be expended by the end of the fiscal year, which is September. One of the things we would love for you to tell us is your visitation. Are you meeting your visitation goals for your attraction? And who are your visitors? You know, it's powerful to us to know whether it's half and half. Visitors are local, out of town, where they're coming from, perhaps. And we have examples of surveys you can use if you're not surveying at your attraction. It would be something to consider. So consider providing that out-of-county information. At least, are they from outside of Lee County? And if so, did they stay the night? Would be another question I would encourage people to ask. Funding is for projects that occur within the fiscal year. So October 1st through September 30th of 2019. I already mentioned about printed materials crediting the TDC. And you need to know that the marketing team here at the VCB is here. And last year we initiated one-on-one meetings for anyone that felt that they needed to let us take a look at your marketing plan and make sure you're aligned with what the VCB does. And what trends are out there that we might be able to share with you that might work for your attraction. So feel free, at the end of this PowerPoint, there will be contact information for people at the VCB to come and sit with before you click send on your final grant application. So the grant funds, what they can be used for: the production and placement of print, TV, radio, and billboard ads. They can be used for digital marketing, which is the hot, most powerful and easiest thing to measure is anything digitally. Social media campaigns, online advertising, all of them come along with measurements. And if you've not been to a workshop with the VCB marketing team, I would encourage you to attend to learn more about how that works. The design and construction of a website or enhancement to an existing website. And this is very important. You can have a listing on the VCB's consumer website, but if it links back to a website that's perhaps not performing as well as it should be for you, then you might want to consider using some of the grant funding to improve your own website. You need to note that web hosting fees, which is a recurring expense that organizations incur when they have websites, is considered because it is recurring operational. So that would not be something we could fund. However, the design, construction, or enhancement of a site can be funded through this program. Printing and mailing and distribution costs for things like travel guides, attraction maps, rack cards, and direct mail pieces can be funded. You need to provide a good detail on who they're going to. So if you have an organization that has a membership and you're mailing pieces to them, that's wonderful and that's important because they're your members. But are they new visitors? You want to think about, what am I printing and where am I mailing it to, and is it going to cause someone new to look at me and visit Lee County? So remember to include good detail, and because we would probably come back and ask you to clarify who you're sharing it with. Many organizations will perhaps print, let's say, 100 things, and perhaps half of them are going to local residents that are members of their organization. We want to fund the portion that's going to potential new visitors. That's the purpose of marketing to new consumers. So think about that when you're preparing it. And again, don't hesitate to ask us any questions if you have. Okay, someone is saying, are you not seeing my screen? I'm so sorry. Let's go back and see if I can clean up the screen. It's still showing the poll, isn't it? All right, let me get rid of that little poll. Okay, hopefully now you can see my all right, I'm just trying to get rid of the poll altogether. Okay, now what are you seeing? Okay, you fixed it? I fixed it? Great. Okay, that was my first time doing a poll. I guess I won't do that again until I practice more. So I'm assuming you can see screen 2, is that correct? Nope. It looks like it's still the poll. Oh, okay, I think it's fixed now. All right, we're back on that slide. We were talking about what's eligible. I mentioned the design and construction of a new website, enhancements to an existing website, printing and mailing, photography and video projects that support an approved marketing campaign. Again, they're going to want to know the distribution of photography and video and the reach, the potential reach, because that can be pretty expensive. So just be sure to check with us if you're doing something fun like that. We have funded video in the past that now has gone on to reach out of area on NPR because the applicant was successful in obtaining that partnership. So that's fantastic. Down at the bottom of this slide are some of the required documents that you'll need to include. And again, the application that you see when you go to the Community Foundation portal will outline all of the requirements. But you're gonna, if you're still in the process of becoming a 501c3, you need to have a letter that's indicated you've applied. Your operating budget, the project budget. Again, you may have other expenses that are not eligible through this program. Be sure to show the whole project budget and any match. Financial statements, and if you had funding from this program last year, your post-grant report. So you should be getting ready to start working on that. It's due the end of May, and the deadline for applications for this program is June 22nd. So save a PDF of your final grant report from last year and be sure to upload that. Two of the other documents that were new last year are the appendices that the VCB felt, it's when you're reviewing 40 grant applications as a committee, it's important for there to be some sense of consistency for what you're looking at. And we just want you to be concise and succinct when you're telling us what you're going to do. So this first one is the marketing plan, the project description. We have created a table for you, and made some suggestions. You may not ask for design of creative material or printing. You may have something else you want. So down at the bottom, you see the words other. That's a clickable fill in the blank kind of a box. So if you don't want to do web development, then you don't have to put anything there. But if you are going to try social media, you're going to want to type in your goal there, the amount of money you want to request for that initiative, and then, of course, the estimated reach. And when you're buying social media or you're doing ad placements, whoever you're placing the advertising with should be able to tell you what the estimated reach, the number of impressions is. That's how you measure it when you go back later after it was placed. So this is one document that you're going to have to fill out based on the funding you're requesting through this program. And it's fillable, and it's available in the resource page of leavecb.com under attractions. The other document, if you've applied for current year funding, you filled this out. You had objectives, and then you stated what you hoped your results would be for 2017-18, which is what we're in right now. You had an attendance objective, you had web traffic objectives, if you did brochures or rack cards, you had a distribution objective. So now it's going to be time to report on them, and this document should be included in your final report that you're going to start working on, and how you measured. So we will be adding a column to this for 18-19 objectives. So you may not have gotten funding this year, so the only reason you'll use this is to set goals for next year. But again, if you did get funding current year, you're going to need to report on how you did. And this is a good way to measure. We do it here. Many marketing organizations are doing it. So it's a good tool to see how you're doing. All right, the timeline. Again, we're here today. It's April 30th. Tomorrow, this application cycle opens. You'll have until June 22nd. You can go back and forth, leave your application in draft form, take time out to meet with the VCB staff and chat about it. In August, the end of June, we will be training our committee. There's 3 TDC members proposed to be on the committee along with 2 community partners. And they have to be approved by the TDC. Hopefully that'll happen at the May meeting. We will train them the end of June, and they will start looking at your requests for the whole month of July. This spends 3 or 4 weeks looking through all. If it's anything like last year, we had 42, so that was a lot. And then at the August 9th meeting, the Tourist Development Council will have the opportunity to approve the recommendations made by the committee. So many attractions will say, well, when can I come? And you can come to any TDC meeting you want. So they meet the second Thursday of every month. And I thank those of you that come on a regular basis or at least once a year and say thank you. We appreciate you funding our project. This is what we did. Normally, this is done during public comment at the beginning of a TDC meeting. If there was ever a need for you to do a presentation for to the TDC, you would need to get on the agenda, so I'd need a month's notice. But I would encourage you to come to either the June or the July or the August meeting, and at the beginning of the meeting say thank you. I'm with XYZ Attraction. We had a great year, and we appreciate the support that Tourist Development Council gives. So that's always a good thing to do. And once the TDC approves the recommendations in September, the Community Foundation and the Board of County Commissioners approve their budget, and the funding for this program is a part of the budgets for both of those organizations. So should you get lucky enough to be funded through this program, you will be notified on or about October 8th. And then we need to just get a check cut to the Community Foundation, which takes the board about a month, believe it or not. And we will invite you to the VCB to receive your grant award. And that'll happen here sometime in November. Looks like we've picked November 16th. Your post-grant report for next year's funding is due next May. So that web address right there, leevcb.com/funding programs/attractions marketing, is where all the information lives on the VCB's Tourism Partner site. And that's where you should go to get those appendices, to look at the guidelines, to look and see who got money last year and how much total they've gotten since the beginning of the program. Events marketing funding information is on that website, and a lot of other things, including, I mentioned, the photo library, links to statistics that some people find very valuable when they're preparing a grant report. We regularly post statistics based on visitor feedback on that website. So again, you will be hearing from Ashley at the Community Foundation. If you haven't already, she's sending you a PDF with instructions on how to create your profile in the Community Foundation's website. So watch for that. And again, we appreciate the Community Foundation for assisting us again. It's probably been 10 years since they've been doing that, and we really appreciate it. I'm going to pause and just check the question portal to make sure nobody has questions. This is a list of the marketing team members and their email addresses. My name is at the top there. I'm available anytime. The marketing manager who best would be able to assist you with, this is my attraction, this is my goal. Should I do print? Should I do radio? How does my website look? How can I improve it? She'd be the best one, in my opinion, to talk to. The person that manages our website here at the VCB is Courtney Herschel. She also does our social media. So if you have questions about social, you can talk to Courtney. If you need a listing, or if you would like to edit an existing listing on our website, you need to talk to Josh Lambert. And lastly, if you're interested in the co-op program and investing some of your own budget in that, or learning how it works, you need to speak with Elizabeth Escribano, who's on our ad agency's team, and they manage the co-op. I wanted to remind you that leevcb.com events page has all of the partner events that we offer over the summer when we're not quite as busy and you aren't either. We offer sales and marketing workshops. Our annual meeting is in November at the Westin in Cape Coral, and that's one that I see most of you at. It's where we unveil the marketing plan for next fiscal year. So it would be very important to participate in some of the initiatives that the VCB has. Okay, just checking to see if there's any other questions. I apologize for the technical difficulties. I wanted to just share a story. There was a new attraction that was funded last year, never gotten funding before, doing something very outside the box, in line with our agritourism initiatives. And she actually got a Chrysalis Award this year for developing such a good project. So it's very important to take a look at the events the VCB has, because there's a lot to gain. You can go through Guest First or send your staff through Guest First training, and you can get recognized like they did at Chrysalis. Several of the attractions actually were recognized at Chrysalis this year. So we appreciate everything you do. I don't see any more questions. Again, this webinar will be posted as a recording on leavecb.com probably by Wednesday, because I will be at Travel Rally all day. So I hope to see you there, and I thank you all for participating, and have a great afternoon. Thank you.